Hey guys, it's Han here from the Golden System. Welcome back everybody, it's Sophia here. Hello, it is Ben here. I am filling in for Vortex since he is too busy to front and record at the moment. Yo, what's up everybody? Your boy Chase is back in another video. And welcome back to Multiplicity month. Yay! So this is part 2. So we'll be going through questions 16 to 30 in this part. We uploaded the first part a few days ago, and that was questions 1 to 15 even. So you might want to go watch that if you haven't already. But yeah, let's get into it. So jumping on to day 16, which is what do you all disagree on? Where should I start? I think the biggest one is usually whether I'm a fair host. I like to think I'm a fair host, and most of the time my sister thinks I'm a fair host, but sometimes something happens and people are like, that's not fair. You're like, oh, you're biased on people who front more, and I'm like, well, yeah, obviously, because they're out more. I'm not going to spend money on something, you're not going to use it. That doesn't mean I forget about you, because you still have a lot of stuff, so stop complaining. Being a host is fun. Something we tend to disagree on a lot is who the first altar was. So we all knew that X was first, but X no longer exists. So there is debate whether it was now me, Ben or Vamara who was first. Of course I think it was me. I came and then I got locked away, then went dormant. Then Vamara kind of came the same time, but she was undiscovered. And then Ben came after me. So technically that means I got here first, but it's still something we debate about. Something we tend to disagree on most often is how to best look after both the body's health and Han's mental health. It's more of we more disagree on the body's health. So for example, our glasses, some alters will say if we don't need to wear glasses, we won't wear the glasses, whereas other alters say no, we should all wear them because we don't want our eyesight to get worse. So that kind of thing is what we disagree on a lot. So something we disagree on quite often can usually be who we tell about the system. As a parent alter, I have quite a key role in this, especially when it comes to telling people about our littles, or our one little. So yeah, because you'll never have everyone saying, yes, tell this person, we tend to run on a democracy. If more people say yes, and then that person gets told, unless it's Sophia who's saying no, in that case, it's out of the question. But it is something we disagree on quite a lot, especially because we've just started a new job, we've just gone to college, so we've met a lot of new people, and so it's just like, okay, so how many of these people are we going to tell, if any at all? So it is quite a common thing that gets disagreed on. 17. What are the religions of each altar? So most of us are atheists. Yeah, I'm agnostic. It's weird. Some people hold religious beliefs but don't follow the religion, if that makes sense. Apart from Patton. Patton is the only person who follows a religion, and that is Catholic. So yeah. Have you come out as a system. Kinda. A lot of people know. A lot of people know about us, but there's only a few people who are really, like, into it, like, who take the time to learn about each altar and stuff like that. There was an incident that happened about a year ago, where someone we knew kind of outed us to my entire year at school. That's fine. I put a message on my social media being like, hey, it's fake, because, you know, I didn't want too much pressure on us and too many questions. We weren't ready to be out at that point. And I found out recently that no one actually believed me when I said it was fake. So technically, my entire year know, but don't really care, which is quite a common theme for when we tell people. So yeah. 19, how's your memory? Mine is awful. Yeah. Actually, mine can be okay. Sometimes I've got an okay memory, but other times it's awful and not accurate. So, yeah, whoops. I like to think that my memory is quite good. I'm the oldest to exist in the system, and I hold a lot of memories of our childhood, and not even just our childhood, things that happened a couple of years ago or even a year ago. And I like to think that my memory is quite good, so I am better at remembering facts and also times when the body was ill and what we did to resolve that, since that's kind of my role as physical protector. So my memory is mostly based around that. I do have an okay memory when it comes to remembering events, but usually it's more based around facts and ways to help improve the body's health. My memory is honestly not great. Yeah, I forget a lot, and it doesn't particularly help that I'm not usually close to the front, because my house is on the Ego side of the island. It's the closest one to the bridge, but the Ego side of the island is quite far away from the apartment. It's about a 5-minute walk, probably. Well, that's not that far, but in memory terms, that is quite far. So my memory is kind of awful. Yeah, I do remember some things, obviously, but half the time it's not good. I don't remember much. 20, any tips for new systems? Don't panic. Easier said than done, because, you know, I only started to discover that this wasn't normal about 2 years ago, and when I first discovered it, it was just me and Sophia, and Sophia is an ex-persecutor. She was a persecutor at the time, and also at the time we were doing Jekyll and Hyde in school, so it scared me and I panicked a lot, and that didn't help with things. So what I would say is, just don't panic. It's not, I don't want to say it's not normal, because, you know, it's actually quite common, but it is a coping mechanism. It is there to help you, even if you feel like it isn't, even if you feel like it's a burden. Altars are there to help you function in everyday life. So try and establish communication as well. When we were first a system, and we were starting to communicate, we used social media, like we'd be in a group chat with ourselves and just send messages in different styles. That's good. I'd also say do as much research into the disorder as possible, whether it's DID or OSDD. Do as much research as possible. I mentioned in my last video some channels you can watch, but even not just watching channels, just doing research in general. It's really good. It makes you feel better about it, I promise. Just remembering that you are strong, you are valid, and people love you, even if this does exist in your life. As remembering that not everyone will accept you for who you are, but most people will be cool with it. From my experience, most people are cool with it. Not everyone, obviously. Like, only tell people you really trust. And also if it's a system decision as well. But most people seem to be okay with it, so yeah, there's my advice. Just something I want to add on to Hans' part is work with your persecutors. Don't try and lock them away, because this happened to me and it's not good. It tends to just make people behave worse because you've done that. And also, don't try and stop an alter from fronting unless you really have to. We're pretty good at letting each other switch out in most situations, but say we're in a situation where the alter really shouldn't be there, so college for example, in class where it might be noticeable, then in that case that's okay, but as best you can, don't lock away your alters. Okay, so 21, this is a good one. What songs do you associate with Multiplicity? Two songs I can think of right now is Control by Hazy, and oh my god, what's it called? Echo, that's it. And Echo by Amelie. Those two. Because, like, the lyrics in Control is who is in control, which is quite relatable when you're blended. And then in Echo, there's a lyric saying, what the hell is going on? Can someone tell me, please, why I'm switching faster than the channels on TV? And it's just like, mood. So yeah, those two. If you haven't listened to them, recommend it. They're good songs. Yeah. 22. Can you edit your inner world? Not really. Not consciously. We can influence our inner world, but our inner world is formed based on our personality and our role. So, like, for example, when I integrated, my room changed. So instead of being like white and grey and neutral like this, the walls turned from white to having white with pink strips down it and a purple carpet. I didn't control that, it's just what the inner world wanted to do. I think one of the only things that has ever been consciously added is the park. It's because of our little and Sarah, they both love being at the park, and plus the parks from my childhood. So that's kind of the only thing where we're like, oh yeah, we want that there. Oh, that's there now. But yeah, that's it really. If you've got any tips for editing the inner world, I'd love to know, because there's a few things I'd love to change, but no, it kind of just appears that way. Okay, 23. Are any of the alters LGBT? Everyone, apart from Chase. Chase is the only alter who is straight and is a cis male. Everyone else either has a different sexuality, such as pansexual, bisexual, gay, or different romantic, those things again, or have a different gender. So like me, I'm agender, Bot's non-binary, Water's gender fluid, it's bigender. So yeah, we've got quite a diversity. Yeah, there's literally only one straight cis alter, and that's Chase. 24. Are you all comfortable in the body? I'm pretty comfortable in the body. There's not many people who experience that bad dysphoria. Only really Ben, Vortex and Chase, but I'm sure they'll talk about that in their own parts. I've noticed I'm a bit less comfortable since integrating, especially because when I integrated I got taller for some unknown reason, and like my hair got lighter and my glasses changed, so yeah, I feel a bit less comfortable than I did, but it's not to the point where it's making me dysphoric. It's just like, I'm slightly different in the inner world, but it's fine. I don't really care. I am pretty comfortable in the body. I've been in the body for a long time. I've adapted to it. One thing I will probably never adapt to is the height of the body. I hate the height. The body is 5'1". I am 5'6" in the inner world. So I don't like that. But as long as I kind of wear black, I might have a necklace or a bracelet which makes me feel comfortable. And if I have my hairstyles like this, and I don't really care, most of the time I might take off my glasses because I prefer not to wear glasses, but I also don't want to make our eyesight worse. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable in the body. I prefer my own body, obviously, but I don't really care being in this body. I don't notice half the time unless I look in the mirror. So, being completely honest, I hate being in the body. I get the worst dysphoria out of everyone. The only other person who gets it as bad as me is Auntie. Auntie also hates the body, and he specifically hates the voice as well. But yeah, I get extreme dysphoria, and it's even worse when, it gets to that certain point in the month. I have been here for a long time, so I am kind of used to being in the body, but it doesn't mean I like it. I still get dysphoric, and I still hate all the female parts and find it weird, but it doesn't stop me from functioning in the body. No, I'm not that comfortable in the body. I don't really like our hair gets in the way and it's a bit annoying. Which is why when you see me I'm usually wearing a hat because it keeps our hair out of the way. Also I wear a hat in my Canon quite a lot. So yeah, it's why I also don't wear our glasses, because again I just don't like them. I don't find them comfortable. And I actually find they make it harder for me to see things. So I don't wear our glasses. Yeah, I don't know, the body's just a bit I feel uncomfortable in it. I feel like I'm not meant to be here. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's I don't know. 25. Who is the host? That is me, Han. I'm at the most. I deal with life problems such as college, work, other things. I deal with all that, and I'm out the most. So yes, I am the host, but that does not make me the original, and it doesn't particularly make me the core. But yes, I am the host. 26. Do you or your headmates ever feel like you want your own bodies? Yeah, I know a lot of people who it's like, if I had my own body, I could do this, I wouldn't be restricted to this, I would feel better, I don't like being in this body. I know a lot of people like that. I don't get it, because again, I'm the host, so technically it is my body. So it doesn't, I don't get it, but I know a lot of people in my system do get it. But it's kind of something that people move on from, so it's like they have the thought, but it's like, oh, but that's never going to happen, so move on. So yeah, it's not too bad, but it still does happen. Yes. I do wish I had my own body. I'd be able to get off this planet because I'm not human, and this body is very fragile compared to my body in the inner world. So yes, I would like my own body. I would travel this world first and then travel the universe in my own body. I would be a lot more comfortable in my own body. But like I said before, I don't really care too much about being in this body, so I think having my own body is more linked to wanting my own life instead of living this life. Yeah, that's more the case. I'd prefer my own life. Yes, I do wish I had my own body. As I mentioned before, I'm very uncomfortable in this body, and I would prefer my own to live life how I would want to live life and not have to worry about trying to keep this body's health up, because it is a stressful job, especially because we're ill all the time. So yes, I would like my own body. That'd be a lot better. As a fictive, this is a bit weird for me because obviously I did previously have my own body and my own life, and as much as I don't really like this body, and I would rather have my own, I am really happy with this life. This life is currently better than what I was living previously. So for this question, I think I'd say I'd rather have my own body but live this life. Yeah, that. Next is, are different alters in control of different parts of you? There used to be. Think Sophia used to mainly control my left hand. And the bot would mostly control my legs, but that's not really how that works anymore. Yeah, no. People only really have full control when they're fronting. The only time that changes is if we're writing and someone's in Cocon and they start to kind of write themselves, which is really weird, and it's been happening a lot recently and it's awkward. But yeah, it's like kind of my hand will start blending into their handwriting because they might be influencing that, especially if it's a co-front. But apart from that, no, not really. Next is, have you been diagnosed yet? We have not, no. We want to be. Kind of, I don't know, honestly, I'm a bit too nervous to go to a doctor's or a therapist. There's loads of reasons behind it, but one of the main ones is that I'm worried they'd be like, oh no, it's not this, you're just being weird, you know, and then I'd be like, whoops. So yeah, I say that whenever I tell people, I say I might have the disorder OSDD-1B, but I always specify that we are not diagnosed, because I don't like the idea of saying you have a disorder if you don't have a diagnosis. So I will always specify that. So 29 is, how often do you switch? I say about 3 to 5 times a day, so it's really not that often. Sorry, I'm dissociating. Probably switch after I finish recording, to be honest. But yeah, between 3 and 5 times a day. If we've got a test or an exam or something, it can be up to 20 times a day. I think 20 is probably our max, naturally. If we're out for Christmas or something, then that'll be higher. But yeah, naturally, the most we'll switch in a day is around 20, but averagely, it's between 3 and 5 times a day. And then last, but definitely not least, is, what are the mannerisms of each alter? That is a lot to explain. So me, I use a lot of hand gestures. There's a lot of people who use a lot of hand gestures, but I do it the most. I kind of sit quite slouched. I tend to sit with my knees up, on my with one leg up if I'm on the chair. I tend to keep my hair behind me like that. Don't know. Look in the corners a lot. That's usually because I'm talking to someone or I'm thinking. I touch my face a lot. I've noticed that. Don't know what else. I mean, it's not really a mannerism, but I tend to swear a lot more than everyone else. Apart from Harry, I tend to swear a lot more. That's probably the best way to know it's me, to be honest. I've had authors say to me, "Oh, we only swear when we're pretending to be you," and I'm like, sorry, it's just my personality. Yeah, those are my mannerisms. I'm sure everyone else will explain theirs as well. I actually think my mannerisms can be quite hard to pick up on, especially because I'm so good at acting like the host. I can literally do it perfectly, and you'll only know it's me if I want you to know it's me. I mess with our hair a lot. I'll always put my hair to one side like this, especially if I want you to know it's me. I'll put my hair to one side like this. I mess with it a lot. I stroke it, I comb through it, I'll flick it back. I do that a lot. I might mess with whatever necklace I've got on. I sit with quite a straight back, unlike most people in the system. I tend to keep my head down more. I tend to look at the floor, unless I need to be in my protector role. In that case, I will look you straight in the eyes. I don't really know what else. I'm quite alert. I'm always looking around, seeing if there's danger. I'm not right now because I'm at home, so it's not really any risk. But yeah, I do that as well. I think that's it. My mannerisms tend to be that I sit with quite a straight back. If I'm on the floor, I'll either sit with my knees up, or I'll sit with my knees, with my legs crossed. So these are the most comfortable positions for me. If I'm sitting on a chair, just straight back with feet on the floor. I make a lot of direct eye contact, and I'll probably always be looking at you and probably analysing you, just to see if you're safe or if you're good for the system. Not sure. I have a slightly deeper voice. I tend to use a slightly deeper voice than the host does. It's not always deep enough for people to pick up on, but it is slightly deeper than what the hosts use. I tend to speak in quite a monotone way. Tend to use bigger words than the host does. I don't use a lot of hand gestures, not unless I'm really angry or annoyed, or unless it just helps me better iterate my point. I think that's it. Yeah, can't think of anything else. I'm quite a active alter, so when I'm out, I'll move around a lot. I find it hard to stay still, so I'm always moving. I sit quite well. I don't sit that slouched, but I sit more slouched than other people would. I tend to sit with one knee up and not the other knee completely straight, but like slightly more down, if that makes sense. So like one knee there and then one knee there. Don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, I'll sit like that. I prefer to wear a cap, so there's that. I speak with a slightly higher voice than the host does. I also have a slight accent, but it's hard to pick up on because we're a very covert system. So that isn't really something that's noticeable half the time. But it is very slight, it is there. Trying to think what else. I move my eyes around a lot. I think that's something a lot of us do though. Don't know. More facial expressions. I do that. I have quite a lot of facial expressions, whereas like Ben in the previous clip doesn't have that many facial expressions. Yeah, and that's all I can think of. But I'm sure if you've got any questions, all of us will be able to answer them if you want to know anything else about our mannerisms. So that's it, guys. That's all the questions, as you can see here. Just wanted to say that I had a lot of fun doing this. I really enjoy doing things like this. I really enjoy answering questions and giving people the opportunity to get to know us better. I just find it really fun. So this was perfect for me. And yeah, thank you for watching these 2 really long videos. See you in the next video. Bye.